people are living in that struggle and suffering because of the mind. Welcome to Satori Mindset Podcast. My name is Yuki Yoshii, and this is your time, your moment to reflect on yourself, your life, and to integrate your journey to feel aligned, and to ultimately make the awakened version of you a default mode. So let's begin. Okay, so in this video, I want to talk about present moment. And if you have been in the world of spirituality, this is not a new topic for you. Now, that doesn't mean that we are actually living fully present in this moment. So this is a topic that has layer and the depth to it. And I hope this particular video will give you another layer of what living in the present moment means and how that looks like and feels like for you. So let's talk about time. Yeah. Because present moment, when we look at from the perspective of time, and when I say that, you might wonder, is there any other way to look at present moment other than the perspective of time? Yes, there is. And that is the perspective that we want to lean into in order to actually experience the present moment at all time. So let's talk about time. What is time, right? Time is a passage from past to future, from one event to another event. Yeah. Now, you decided to play this video that's already in the past, right? Right now, as you hear my voice, as you see me speaking, this is happening in this moment. Yeah. And then you can backtrack a little bit and listen to how the video started again, right? So those activity, so the space between two activities we call time. Now we created something called clock. So you have this clock, the passage of time that move through from point A to point B. And what's in front of us, the time that hasn't arrived yet, we call it future. In a time that has passed and it's behind us, we call it past. It's very interesting, right? Because in front and behind is a term that we use for space, right? But then time is not in space, but we can say before and after, yeah, but those are analogy and the concept in the mind. And we all know that the only moment that exists, the only moment slash time that exists is this present moment. Because let's say if we talk about the future, we can only talk about the future in the now. So the point of this particular portion of this conversation is that you can never experience anything other than the present moment, the now moment. Yeah. And I think everybody can agree with that, right? You cannot experience the past. You can experience about the past. You cannot never experience the future. You can talk about an experience about the future by talking about it or imagining and visualizing. But you can only experience everything in this present moment. Yeah. So when you look at the present moment from the perspective of time, right? It's the time that exists right now, and it's between the past and the future. And it's this, you know, time clock ticking, but then it's the right now moment and right now moment and right now moment. Yeah. Now we say so based on the concept of time. But let's say if we remove the entire time, it's very interesting because I saw the other day on the Instagram reel that there is a country, I can't remember what the name of the country is, but north of Norway, there is a country that the sun doesn't disappear. The sunset doesn't come for 9 months. So the 9 months of the year, the sun is out, right? So you don't really know. It's a different kind of experience, right? Because if you're living in other places other than that country. I think there's a few countries that experience that. The orbit, the spin of the Earth doesn't impact the sun and the moon as much as other places. Yeah. Now, most of us don't live there, so it means that you experience sunrise and sunset, right? You kind of experience the sense of time from sunrise to sunset, from sunset to sunrise. Yeah. Now, that is a passage of time based on the movement that happens on Earth, but then experience of the present moment has nothing to do with time. So what I mean by that is that when you are experiencing this moment, now that moment is gone, again, this moment, yeah, we are experiencing a forever unfoldment, that ever present moment that unfolds over and over. And is this moment, present moment, is it a one-time thing or is there many moments that unfold? Yeah. There's only one moment that unfolds continuously. And the more we can align with that way of experiencing, which is happening all the time. When you forget the time and then you start diving into and zone in and being in the flow, you don't have a sense of time. Now, the more we can be in that zone and the flow, the more actually we are living the physical experience aligned with the essence and the dimension of the soul spirit. And the reason for that is spirit is ever present, all knowing. And only the mind gets delusionalized and create an illusion of the sense of time. So the more we can let go, because the way in which constructed time, which we have a common agreement, lives in the mind. It's a mental construct. So the more we can let that go, the more we can immerse ourselves in living fully present in this moment that unfolds continuously, eternally. There's only one thing that exists, which is eternal now. And eternal is not everlasting, right? Everlasting is an analogy that comes from the concept of time, but it's ever present and exist all the time. The more we can align the mind with that way of experiencing, the more we are closer to that divine version of the self, because that's how the dimension of the spirit works. That's how the dimension of the soul works. And the more we move the mind to experience just like how the spirit soul exists, the more we can feel fulfilled. Yeah. And the more we live from that place, intuition will become your primary language. And a lot of the things that people struggle with today, like overwhelm or anxiousness or worry and doubt, anxiousness, notice that those comes from the activity of the mind. The mind goes to a different time zone per se and begin creating that assumption in your subconscious, and you start experiencing that contrast, the feeling of negative feeling sensation in the body, right? So the more we immerse ourselves living fully with and in this present moment, the less of that shows up. Like worry and doubt and anxiousness, to be honest, I have not experienced that in a long time. And the more, there's a moment of doubt that might creeps in because we are constantly living in that, we have this sort of back and forth between survival mind. That's the biology that we are wearing, right? But I actually don't know no longer how to stay there. Yeah. So the more we practice this living fully present in the moment, I hope this explanation and awareness is giving you another layer of that, the embodiment of it, the less of the struggle. People are living in that struggle and suffering because of the mind. So we can create freedom and ease and peace through the mind once you understand what the mind is doing. The mind is creating an illusion, the concept of the time, and then that's taking us away from the experience of living fully present in the moment. Thank you for listening to the podcast. A message I want you to take with you is this. you have a power to choose how you see yourself and the world at any given moment. So stay connected to that wisdom.